Rupert and Danny had always been very nice boys. They were doing well in school and liked to play in the deep valley between their two neighboring houses, for they were neighbors, and in that gloomy, lonesome neighborhood where they lived, there lived as well an insurance agent loyal to the Crown of England, and basically a dangerous, concerning person who may figure into the narrative soon, but not that soon. Because now you must learn of Rupert and Danny. In essence, they were little children, obviously very adorable, and they were strolling down the lane one day because there was a meeting the children of the neighborhood were having on the matter of existentialism. However, their friend Claire came hurriedly down the lane the opposite way to tell them the meeting had been cancelled, and that to persevere within the cognition of oneself, no matter the inner torments, is far preferable than to shear oneself away for the sake of moments and experiences more fleeting than the chill, crisp autumn wind that blew with it the very charming and crunchy leaves of fall. I am insensate on the issue of our meeting on existentialism being cancelled, Rupert declared. I'm of the same mind, Danny imported. What's more, Claire's sudden volta towards stoicism seems, if not performative, at least shambolic and overconvenient. Nonetheless, the two cherry-cheeked little playmates of childhood's years were committed to enjoying their afternoon, and decided they would go into that deep, nigh abyssal valley where the trees loomed over everything, where mosses grew thick and toads came springing up from the spring beyond the neighborhood, in the deep, dark woods where nobody ever went, except for suspicious individuals possibly loyal to the Crown of England, or to evil. As they played in the valley, Rupert was chagrined because he realized Danny had found an extremely cool stick, and there was scarce as cool a stick anywhere else about. Such matters occurred, it seemed, and it was then that Rupert realized that confronting issues such as these were just such the precepts Stoicism espoused, and perhaps their friend Claire had been similarly chagrined before declining from existentialism and its vivifying towers and bridges of possibility. However, just as Rupert considered that to have inner character and defend its nature was worthwhile, there appeared at the edge of the valley, coming from the deep, dark woods where nobody good ever went, was that insurance agent whose name was Giles or perhaps Brunswick. Both boys had forgotten pretty much completely. He was not a close friend of their parents. As it was generally somewhat frightening for children to be approached by a lone adult, they decided to leave the area, and the issue of whose stick was cooler was soon forgotten. But lo, they saw him again, back in the upper flat streets of the neighborhood. He was there, at the edge of things. He had introduced himself to a couple that was new to the neighborhood, and after a pretty underwhelming pleasantry, almost immediately began to solicit to them the selling of property insurance, which even the children, as yet unsocialized entirely by the world and its scruples, mores, and contradictions, found pretty tacky and unctuous, and were glad they had avoided him